You cannot make yourself work. Not because you don't care, but because something deeper is broken. The problem is that medicine and culture have lumped two entirely different conditions under the same accusation: laziness. But the neuroscience is clear. Burnout is a clinical syndrome with measurable physiological changes in the stress response system, cortisol dysregulation, HPA axis dysfunction, and structural brain changes in the prefrontal cortex. Laziness, by contrast, has no physiological signature. Treating burnout as laziness, with more discipline, more willpower, more productivity hacks, doesn't just fail. It makes the condition worse. Christina Maslach, whose 2016 World Psychiatry paper is the defining modern framework for burnout, describes it as a psychological syndrome emerging from chronic workplace stress with three specific dimensions: emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced personal accomplishment. This is not vagueness or malaise. It is a measurable, reproducible condition with documented neurobiological correlates that distinguish it from depression, laziness, or simple fatigue. This video is grounded in 5 peer-reviewed studies from World Psychiatry, Journal of Social Issues, Psychological Bulletin, and Journal of Applied Psychology, covering the clinical definition of burnout, its overlap with depression, and the evidence-based recovery protocol. The cultural equation of burnout with weakness or lack of discipline is not just unhelpful, it is scientifically wrong. Burnout is most commonly observed in high-achieving, deeply committed individuals who overextend chronically without adequate recovery. Freudenberger's original 1974 clinical description specifically noted that the most burnt-out individuals were the most idealistic and hard-working. The condition results from depletion, not from insufficient effort. The clinical consequences of unresolved burnout extend well beyond work performance. Bianchi et al.'s 2015 Psychological Bulletin meta-analysis found that burnout and major depression share approximately 40% of their variance, meaning advanced burnout frequently transitions to clinical depression if untreated. Physical health consequences include elevated cortisol causing metabolic disruption, immune suppression, cardiovascular risk, and disrupted sleep architecture. Burnout is not a productivity problem. It is a health emergency. Burnout and laziness present with overlapping surface symptoms. Both involve reduced output and avoidance of tasks. But the differentiating features are physiologically and psychologically distinct. Sonnentag and Fritz's research on recovery from job stress provides the key diagnostic framework. Burnout individuals show high psychological distress alongside inability to recover, while low motivation without distress suggests different mechanisms entirely. Sonnentag and Fritz's 2007 Journal of Applied Psychology study introduced the Recovery Experience Questionnaire and documented 4 dimensions of psychological recovery from job stress: psychological detachment, relaxation, mastery experiences, and sense of control. Their research showed that workers who failed to fully detach from work during off hours showed significantly higher burnout scores over time, establishing that recovery is not passive rest but an active physiological and psychological process. Harkonnen and Schaufelli's longitudinal research on burnout and work engagement revealed an important asymmetry. Burnout strongly predicts future depression, but work engagement does not protect against burnout once the HPA axis is dysregulated. This means that passion for work, often cited as burnout prevention, is insufficient protection if recovery practices are absent. Recovery interventions for burnout have been studied in occupational health research with clear efficacy rankings. The most effective interventions address the core deficits: cortisol regulation, psychological detachment, and restoration of meaning, rather than focusing on time management or productivity. Burnout develops through a predictable physiological cascade. Understanding this mechanism explains why standard approaches, pushing harder, taking short breaks, caffeine, fail, and why the recovery protocol must address each stage of the depletion cycle. The evidence-based recovery framework for burnout addresses 4 pillars simultaneously: physiological restoration, psychological detachment, demand reduction, and meaning restoration. Addressing only 1 or 2 pillars produces partial recovery that frequently relapses. Recovery from clinical burnout follows a predictable timeline when all 4 pillars are addressed. The first weeks focus on physiological restoration. Later weeks address the psychological and structural changes required to prevent recurrence. The daily implementation of burnout recovery requires consistent action across physiological, behavioral, and environmental domains. These 6 actions form the evidence-based core of the recovery protocol. Burnout recovery looks different depending on severity, life context, and which burnout dimensions are most prominent. These personalized adjustments match the intervention to the individual presentation. The research on burnout versus low motivation is clear and clinically meaningful. Here is what the science shows. The evidence is clear. The mechanism is understood. And the steps to recover are within reach, but only if you correctly identify what you are actually dealing with. Follow MedBrief Today for more science-backed health insights, explained clearly.